Hey everybody, this is Allie. Welcome back to my channel, Color Mama 360. It's time for another video. So good morning, good night, good middle of the night, depending on when you're watching. Let's jump into it. Today I'm going to be sharing with you some ideas for my Monster March challenge. Now, I know a lot of people have probably already made most of their March plans by now, but if you're wanting to participate in the challenge and you just aren't quite sure what page to do, this video might give you some good ideas. So if you haven't checked out my video on Monster March yet and you have no idea what I'm talking about, make sure to head over to my Monster March announcement video, which I will try to remember to link in the iCards as well as in the description. That's going to have all the details on what the challenge is, how to participate, and how to enter to win the Amazon gift card that I'm giving away. Now, really the point of this challenge is to encourage you to take out some books that you may only take out one other time of the year, and color some pages that have monsters on them to go along with the idea that this month is March. So a couple of quick things. In the announcement video, apparently I didn't know how to spell that day, and I'm pretty sure that when I put the hashtag up on the screen, I was missing the N in monster. So just to clarify, and I put this in the comments of that video too, the hashtag is hashtag CM for Color Mama, Monster with an N, Monster March 26. The reason that it's a little bit longer than just Monster March is because, one, I don't know, maybe other people have ideas outside of the coloring community or even within the coloring community to do something with kind of the M of March and the M of Monster, and they're doing something Monster March related. So I want to make sure that there's a way to filter out the ones that are for my challenge. So that's why the CM for Color Mama is at the beginning. And then the 26, because if this is fun and something that I'm able to get a lot of people involved in, I might do it again next year. And so just want to leave that option open. So like I said, today I'm going to be giving you some ideas. I'm going to start with my pretty Halloween, or I think pretty much all of them are pretty Halloween specific. I was going to say, or like autumn specific, but for the most part, the first set of books I'm going to be showing you are books that I definitely probably would only take out around Halloween. And I'm going to show you some monster options in those books. And then I have some that are kind of like in between, some that are maybe kind of more monster specific than anything. And then at the end, I do have a few books that I just found what I would consider monster pages in them. They're not exactly Halloween specific books, but if you're not quite sure what to do, or maybe you don't have Halloween specific books, but you want to participate in the challenge, I want to give some of those options too. Like I said, the idea behind this challenge was really to encourage you all to take out, and myself, to take out those books that we would only take out one other time of the year. But if you maybe don't own Halloween specific books or don't have books like that, I don't want you to feel like you can't be included in the challenge. So I have some options for you as well. So make sure to stick around. All right, well, let's move this out of the way and get started with some of our options for Monster March. So first up is Color Me Halloween, a spooky coloring book. And this is by Yan Gu. Probably not saying that right, but we're going to go with it. The first page I have marked is this one. Now, this one isn't like a glaring monster page, but these little gargoyle type guys, they definitely would qualify as a monster. And you'll see kind of throughout some of my suggestions that I'm not going to be super strict on what counts as a monster and what doesn't. Again, the purpose is to take out those books that we would only take out once a year otherwise. So make sure that if you're wanting to participate, that you go watch the announcement video, because that has all the like official rules and how to enter and things like that. But I think that this is a good example of, if you're not super into monster pages, this is one that you could color because it just has these little guys, and I would definitely count them as monsters. So that's one option. The next is this one. So same idea, but larger scale. So the focus is really more on the actual monster type creature. So I thought this one was cool as well. Could do some cool stuff with this one too. I can now kind of see, I couldn't see when I marked it, but I can now kind of see that I feel like the building is more over here, and then this is the ledge and he's looking out. This is onto the town. This is the town. So another gargoyle, but I would count him as a monster. And then this one, and this one's a little bit more subtle. I wanted to give some subtle options just in case you're like, oh, but I'm a seasonal colorist, so I don't want to color a monster in March. Well, this one's more subtle, right? It's a werewolf. He basically just looks like a wolf, but I would still count him as a monster. So, yeah, this one would be fun. If anybody's still coloring winter pages, you could even make it into like a winter monster March page. So those are just a couple options from Color Me Halloween by Yonggu. There's other options in this book as well. It is a Halloween specific book, so I'm sure that you could find things. I tried to avoid pages that had things like too many pumpkins or ones that say like stuff like Happy Halloween, just because I know that people are probably going to want to stick away from those since it isn't Halloween, it's Monster March. Next up, I have Magical Season by Linka Filanico. I've heard people say this, and I know that I probably did not just say it right, but and this one has both fall and Christmas pages. So this one I would take out maybe a little bit more. I just barely got it, so it isn't colored, but I would take this one out for maybe a couple more months than some of the other ones, but this one again I thought was kind of somewhat subtle because I was thinking that this little guy could be a monster. I have no idea what he's actually supposed to be, but let me zoom you guys out a little bit. I don't know if that's any better, but yeah, so I was thinking this little guy could be a monster, but this would be a fun one. Now, this is a pretty heavily grayscale book, as you can see. Um, but yeah, again, this is an example of I'm not going to be super strict on what's a monster and what's not, but I thought that this would be a fun one for, again, a more seasonal book. So that's Magical Season by Lenka Filanico. And then next is the one that I will be coloring in, at least one of them, and that's Creepy Kawaii Halloween by Ella Jarzabek. And I marked 2 pages. I'm not sure if I'll get to both of them, but the first one I marked was this one. I thought this one was perfect because Frankenstein is supposed to be, a monster. So I thought that this one was really fun. I'm actually going to leave these ones marked since I'm planning on doing them. And then the other one was this one. Again, I think he's supposed to be a gargoyle, but like also could he count as a dragon from March of the Dragons? Because that's what I was thinking is that a lot of your pages, I would consider a lot of dragons to be monsters. So I was thinking a lot of the pages could have that double effect. But yeah, I thought that this one would be good too. I've started to get an idea for it, but then now that I'm looking at it again, that idea is lost and I can't remember what it was. So I'm excited to get started on it though. I definitely want to do some sort of dark sky. I know that. I think he'll be pretty dark. Not sure about the building, but yeah, I thought that that would be a fun one too. And again, there's so many other pages that would work in this book for Monster March. I mean, that one, really any of them probably. I don't know if you could consider an owl normally to be a monster, but he's a monster to this poor little mouse probably. So you could count that. Um, yeah, there's a lot of good pages in here. And again, a lot of options that may not feel too like this one if you don't want to color pumpkins. There's lots of other options, right? So this one, Another werewolf page. So I did hear that a couple people are already planning on doing a page in this one, and I think that this is a great book to bring out for Monster March. Of course, you knew if you watched the channel that this one would be in the video. This is the Coloring Heaven Halloween special from last year, I believe, unless I'm mistaken. But there's lots of options in this one as well. I mean, yeah, lots of options. The one that I'm doing, because I'm coloring in this book as well, is this one. But really, you could, I mean, you could probably do most of the pages in here. Maybe this one is a little bit more leaning towards not a monster page. You might want to save that one more for just like the autumn season. But these ones, I mean, even this one, if you wanted to, I think you could make count because she's like a vampire. This one you could make count. This one, this one. Again, like I'm not gonna be. This one might be a little bit harder, but hey, you could argue that Harley Quinn is a monster. um, there's a lot of different pages that I think would count for this one. So yeah, that is the Coloring Heaven Halloween special. And finishing up with our Halloween specific book options, we have Halloween by Hannah Carlzon. And the pages that I marked are this one, like a pumpkin monster portrait. I really want to do this page. I don't think I'll get to it this month, but hopefully I'll get to it at some point this year because, yeah, this is one of my favorite pages of the book. I was going to say it differently, but one of the pages I'm most excited to do as well. And then the other one I had marked was this one. Again, kind of portraits. So you have portraits of all kinds of different little things, but I would say this could be a monster. These could be monsters. You have Frankenstein, this three-eyed girl, or you could also do this one. Either of these would be good. And there's other pages in here too that I think would work if you're interested in other pages. And that's Halloween by Hannah Carlzon. Okay, next I have a couple of maybe a little bit more on the Halloween monster side, but not necessarily super Halloween specific. I know people color in these other times of the year. So this is A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo. And Lulu Mayo, just as a artist in general, has a lot of her books have different things that could be considered monsters. It doesn't just have to be this book. I didn't want to get out all her books and then show you every single one of her books, but I bet you could find something with a monster in most, if not all, of her books. So the page that I picked out is this one, and I'm planning on doing this one as well. So hopefully I get to it. But yeah, I thought this one was cute. You have this little girl that I feel like they're monsters because they have little horns, and then you have this guy and this guy. So just a bunch of different types of monsters. And again, probably any page in this book would work because it's A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo. On the note of Lulu Mayo, I also have A Million Magical Creatures. Creatures, monsters, you could kind of use those interchangeably. But the one that I picked is this one. I don't think I'll get to this one, but I would love to see somebody color this one. I know some people have colored it in the past, but this would be a fun one for this month as well. And if this isn't calling to you, there's also this page that would work as well. So both of those are super cute. Let me take a drink real fast. So yeah, those are some fun options from A Million Magical Creatures by Lulu Mayo. Once again, I'm sure there's other pages that would work in that book as well. Next, we have Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hannah Carlzon. And the page that I picked is this one. This is a double page spread, so I'd love to do this double page spread. I won't have time this month, but at some point I definitely want to do it. And what I was thinking were monsters were these little things. I truly have no idea what they're actually supposed to be, but they look very monstery to me. So I think that those would be fun ones. But yeah, this would be a really fun page. I think what has caused me to avoid this page in the past is the background, of course, but it would be really inspiring if someone completed this page and had a good idea for mediums to use for the background, or kind of give ideas to others, because yeah, I have no idea where to start with that one. And the other page that I thought would be good is this bird page. He looks a little monstery. So again, there's definitely room for interpretation when it comes to what you think a monster page is. And that leads us into some of my non Halloween autumn specific books. So we have Mythic World by Kirby Rosannes. And actually, I think all of the books that are left are by Kirby. So really, again, any page in this book would work. They're all mythic animals, which I feel like goes pretty closely with like monsters. But a couple pages that I marked is, again, a double page spread if you have extra time this month. I didn't look up what the myths are behind this, but I don't know. He looks very monstery to me, so I'm just going to go with it. So yeah, that would be a cool one to do. Another one I marked is this one. But again, like I said, really any page would work, because even this one would work. Very monstery as well. So, and then the last idea I marked in this book is this one. So another double page spread, but you could just do one side of this realistically. Either side would work. So yeah, those are just a couple ideas from Mythic World by Kirby Rosannes. And like I said, I think pretty much any page in this book would work as well. Next, of course, I have Dark Fairy Tales. Lots of options for monster pages in here as well. I think either of these Little Mermaid pages would work. So, yeah, they're a little monstery. I mean, she looks very monstery in this one and this one, but you also have like these guys that look monstery as well. So you have some added. Or you have, is this Ursula? It's supposed to be Ursula. She looks monstery too. So whatever your interpretation is, I'm sure it will be fine. And then we also have the Little Red Riding Hood page. Again, wolf, very monstery. So yeah, those are just a couple options from Dark Fairy Tales. I'm sure there's others as well if you're wanting to color in this book or already have plans to color in this book this month. And then last is Alien Worlds. And yeah, I would say you could just use Alien and Monster interchangeably for this challenge. Again, any page in here would work, maybe except for the page I just completed, this one. I mean, there's not really any monsters on this one. But any of the ones that have an alien, I think those look pretty monstery to me. So definitely count. See, like this one, maybe not, but this one, sure. Definitely could be monstery. Again, this one maybe not. So a lot of the pages that have like the more alien, the ones that actually have the aliens on them, those would be good pages for this challenge. Even this one would work. So yeah, again, lots of options in this book as well. That's Alien Worlds by Kirby Rosannes. So yeah, those are just a few different options that I thought I would put out there for the Monster March challenge. If maybe you're already coloring in these books, or maybe you weren't sure what books to get out. They can be cute monsters, they can be creepy monsters, they can be your interpretation of a monster. Don't go too far out with that, but like I said, I'm not going to be super strict on what counts as a monster and what doesn't. If you want your dragon page to count as your monster page, that's totally fine. Whatever your interpretation is, I'm sure that it will be okay. Again, just kind of coming back to the root of why I thought it would be fun to host this challenge is just to get out those books that we don't normally get out this time of year. So if that sounds like something that you want to do and you still have not checked out the Monster March challenge video, make sure to go and do that. Again, that was linked in the iCards at the beginning of the video, and I will link it again in the description. Otherwise, happy coloring, guys. I can't wait to see all of your monster pages, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.